Hello!
Hello, who is it?
I am Mike the Knight, a vader of dragons and favorite of mothers. Please tell your master that if he will give us food and shelter for the night, he may join us on our sacred quest to find the crown of England.
Well, I'll ask him, but I don't think he'll be very keen. We've already got one, you see.
What? He says they've already got one. Are you sure he's already got one?
Oh, yes, it's very nice.
Well, can we come up and have a look?
Of course not. You're English types.
Well, what are you then?
I'm French. Why do you think I have this outrageous accent, you silly English knigget?
What are you doing in England?
Mind your own business.
Welcome to Mike's Gaming Gala. I'm Mike, and this week we're looking at Defender of the Crown for the Intellivision, fully licensed and published by Electronite. Defender of the Crown comes in Electronite's standard gatefold box with a manual, overlays, and a new injection molded cartridge. This game was the winner of our member poll last month. Members get to vote on a game each month that I have to review in the following month. It's a fun little perk, and if you want to participate, feel free to click that join button. Alright, enough of the shameless self-promotion, let's dive into the game. After the splash screens, we get a great title screen, followed by the setup story for the game. Upon returning from Crusade, the king knighted 6 great warriors who had helped him to victory, granting them land and power. You play as one of these knights. Each knight has different attributes that will affect how the game plays. They can be strong or weak in leadership, jousting, and swordplay. Picking your knight, you're thrust into the turmoil that has befallen England. The king has been assassinated, and the crown has disappeared. The Saxons and Normans both blame each other, and it will be war. The famous Robin Hood promises to aid you 3 times over the course of your mission to unite England once again, with you as king. Now that we know our mission, we're thrust into the thick of things. The main play screen in this game is a map of England broken up into territories. There are 6 castles on the island, 3 Saxon and 3 Norman. Saxon castles are in the north and have towers on the side of their keeps. Norman castles are in the south and have towers in the center of their keeps. As a Saxon lord, you can attack anyone you like, but in order to win, all you have to do is eliminate the 3 Norman opponents. On the left of this map screen, you'll see several actions that you can perform each turn. Joust, Conquest, Raid, Buy Army, and End Turn. We'll go through all of these one by one. Joust calls all the lords of the kingdom together for a tournament where you will compete for your choice of land or prestige. You'll then match up against another knight in a single joust. The goal here is to aim at the center of your opponent's shield and then press the action button when he's close enough. If you succeed, you win whatever you were playing for. If you fail, you lose it. If you're anything like me, don't ever compete for land. I always lose. Jousting is hard. Choosing Conquest from the menu brings you to another menu where you can move your army, transfer men from your castle to your army, read the map, see Robin, or continue. Moving your army is pretty self-explanatory. The knight icon on the map screen is your field army, and choosing this allows you to move it to conquer new lands. Transferring troops to your army is also pretty self-explanatory. When you buy fighting men, they are put into your home garrison. You can move troops back and forth between your garrison depending on what your needs are in that moment. Read Map allows you to gain information about territories as well as send spies to report on enemy armies. Seeing Robin allows you to use one of your 3 favors. In this situation, visiting Robin will add a random number of soldiers to your army to bolster it in battle. When attacking a territory, you may find it undefended, but often there will be resistance. If there's another army in the area, you'll be taken to the battle screen. Armies can comprise of soldiers, knights, and catapults, all with their own abilities. Battle is automatic, but at the bottom of the screen you'll have your army controls to guide them. You can set the attack style to stand and fight, outflank enemy, or defensive hold. The more aggressive the tactic, the more men you'll likely lose, but also the more you'll kill. If you have knights and catapults in your army, they have special attacks which need to warm up. Clicking these when they're ready will deal a quick blow to your opponent, dropping their numbers. If you see you're losing a battle, it's often better to run and save those you have left rather than lose your last knight. On the far right is the retreat button for those situations. When laying siege to a castle, combat takes place in much the same way. However, you cannot attack a castle unless you have at least one catapult in your army, and the siege begins with a bombardment where you'll have to choose between types of ammunition that will either smash the castle defenses or kill the garrison. Then it's battle as usual. Taking out another lord's home castle will grant you all of his lands, including any other castles he's managed to capture. A lord that can't defend his own castle loses the loyalty of his vassals. Conquest will be vital for victory, as the amount of gold you get each turn relies heavily on how much territory you control. Okay, we spent a lot of time in the conquest menu. Quick break. Alright, let's head back to that main menu and see what other options we have.
Clicking Raid allows you to raid another lord's castle in the dead of night in the hopes of stealing gold to hamper their efforts and boost your own. Raids always go the same way. You have a single swordsman that has to fight his way through 2 armed guards in order to get into the keep. This involves a lot of button mashing. You have an attack and parry button, but really, what kind of wimp parries? I press forward and spam the attack button. Doesn't always work, but that's how I do. This is another situation where you can ask Robin for help. Before going on a raid, if you ask for help from the Hood, Robin gives you an excellent swordsman to do your dirty work for you, making the assault easier. If you succeed, riches are yours, but if you fail, you're captured, and it'll cost some of your gold to ransom you. Buying an army is dead simple. Your current gold is at the bottom of the screen, and the cost of each troop type is listed above. Purchase to your heart's content. Remember when buying that armies with a variety of troop types will often succeed over a mass of lowly soldiers.
There are also a few random events that can take place that affect you and the other lords.
Most of them are just annoying nuisances for whoever they apply to, such as highwaymen stealing gold or Vikings taking territory, but there's one really special one that you should absolutely go for whenever it comes up. Sometimes you'll get a message that a lady from another house has been captured, and you have the option to answer her calls for rescue. If you choose to save her, it plays out just like a raid, but if you're successful, instead of gold, you rescue her and bring her back to your castle. Until one day, oh yeah, sometimes when the mood hits right and she gives you those eyes, it's business time. Yeah, you fall in love and marry her. As a result, the lord who was tasked with her protection allies with you, expanding your territory and influence. Battle and try to outwit your opponents until either your home castle is taken or all the Norman lords are eliminated from play. If you win, Robin Hood reveals that he's the sneaky guy that hid the crown, which begs the question, did Robin Hood kill the king? I mean, I guess if he did, we should thank him because as the winner, you're crowned the new king and Robin gives you a wink? Yeah. Robin Hood definitely killed the king.
And that's Defender of the Crown for the Intellivision. So what did I think? This is the type of game I would have eaten up back in the day. It has pretty much everything. Simulation, action, tactical play, and if you're nostalgic for that era of strategy, this will be right up your alley. There are a couple things missing from this version compared to the original, but the look and feel is there. I'm not gonna lie to you, there are definitely parts of Defender of the Crown that I just don't like. The jousting and one-on-one swordplay feels clunky and really isn't my thing. But in fairness, it's really not much better in the original versions of the game. Where it shines though is the fun strategic elements. Building your army and outmaneuvering your opponents, forming alliances, defending your lands, and laying siege to castles is all super fun, and from game to game can vary wildly. I'd recommend this to all fans of games like Risk or Axis and Allies out there. You'll definitely get some good fun from it. Thank you for watching my video, I hope you liked it, and thank you so much to my channel members. You guys chose a great game for me to review this month. As always, my info is in the description, and we'll see you next time on Mike's Gaming Gala.